Welcome back. Northstar here with another episode of my Citizen Sleeper Let's Play. Now, I know my first video was a little bit sleepy. I apologize. I was trying this game out late at night. This is a fairly energetic game, despite the name. Everything is on a timeline. It's got cyberpunk themes. Right now, the character is about to end the cycle. Still trying to figure out, there was that hacker guy who contacted me the previous day. And he said something about give him a couple days, but I thought I'd have heard from him by now. There's gonna be a salvage sortie coming in the dock. I'll soon learn what that does. Maybe he's off in the low end somewhere. I don't know. I'll find out the next day. I have to beware. I've only got 7 more days till the hunt for me ends. Obviously I have to do something before then. Anyways, I left things right before turning over the cycle. Didn't I end the cycle? Am I mistaken? There we go. I must have accidentally right-clicked. You never know when you need an event when you sleep. Alright, character's gotta eat again. Oh, those are a lot of low rolls, even despite the extra dice. Might be a good time to go into the Have-Nage systems. He's got good timing. Sleeper. Vane catches your attention as you approach the Have-Nage building, leaning against a bay door to the side of the entrance. You approach. Easier to come in this way. Security, all that. He gives you a look. You know. He slams a button, and the bay creaks open. Blinking lights in the dark behind it. You fall inside. Truth be told, I don't spend much time upstairs. This is where I work. The door hisses as it closes behind you. The bay is filled with pieces of hardware, all rigged up to generators and diagnostic slates and things you don't recognize that glow with blue screen light. There is a chorus of hums that blends into a single wave of static, filling the dark corners of the room. This is definitely cyberpunk themes. Fane leans on a server stack and gestures around. You like it? What is all this? He taps a nearby server stack with bleeps in response. This is my treasure trove, all dredged up from the sea of systems we call the Eye. You wouldn't believe what this place runs on. He steps over to a towering block speckled with vents. Some of these systems are from the original station, AE1, the one Solheim built. We've had to invent new components, repair things we never built, reverse engineer entire subsystems into existence. Sorry about the cough. Residents here look up at the Eye and think they're seeing a concrete reality. But this place is a system in constant flux, decaying and growing, collapsing into new configurations. Yeah, kind of like any biological system. I have education, biology. I used to say, kind of solely, applying this to history, grow or die, in the reference to the idea nations have to grow, but yeah, everything in this planet, whether political entity, space station here, everything is either is always growing and changing, decaying and collapsing and expanding, and nothing is constant in the world, no matter how much it seems that way. That's a good perspective. He walks down between the hardware stacks and you follow. We are keeping this place alive, but also remaking it into something new, dragging it away from those corporate origins. He stops. At least that's what I'm trying to do. He works for a corporation, but he clearly doesn't like it. He turns back. He clearly doesn't like the corporation. As he turns back to face you among the flickering machines, humming all around you. I know you can see this too, Sleeper. All these systems and sections. You can, can't you? I can see it. It makes sense, right? You're between here and there, between the people and their systems. You light this place up like a beacon. That's what I need. You glance at the lights around you, and as you begin, and as you do, they seem to flicker, to realign, to follow your gaze. Faye notices it too. I'm guessing being beacon isn't always a deal when you're on the run, though. They're tracking me. He pats you on the shoulder. Maybe I can help with that. There's a lot of old growth in this place. Subsystems I can't see. Access protocols lost to time and decay. Secrets. A shitload of secrets. With your help, I can unlock this place. Break off those last ghost limbs of corporate control. He lowers his voice below the hum. Even in Habnage, there is old growth. Those whose roots trace back into those bad old days. You help me dredge up the past, and I'll see what I can do about that tracker of yours, he winks. What do you say, Sleeper? I don't have much choice. I'm in. Fang pumps his fist and claps you on the shoulder. He meets your eye. You won't regret it, Sleeper. Fang passes you a ragged-looking metal tab. A gift, he smiles. It's a Solheim cipher. I dug it up from the desk of the station. Slot that into an old network gate and you'll be able to pull out all kinds of secrets from the nodes inside. He walks you back to the front of the bay. I seem to remember one of the nodes requiring a Solheim cipher. Start by bringing me whatever you can turn up. Use that emulated mind of yours and see what's out there. Let's get a picture of how things are. Those above, he nods at the ceiling, have granted me an acquisitions budget. I can pay you for whatever useful data you bring in. I know you need it. He slams the door button again. Keep it quiet and keep it clean, Sleeper. And I'll see you soon. This is where probably the operator class would really start to shine. Machinist, which I took, is useful right from the beginning for the engineering tasks. Or the labor one, but the operator really starts to shine once you discover this guy, I bet. And shine harder. Kind of like Linear Warriors Exponential Wizards themes from role-playing games. You step, blinking, back out into the passage. Those flickering lights still in the back of your mind. Oh, I can change what drives are shown. Bill Shipman, you've heard talk of a fabricator owned by the World Exchange. With that and a few fragments, you could build the shipmine core. Extract the pass. Huh. First thing is probably the winter light. That's on a pretty short timer, but I'll definitely, you know what, just so I can see. Yeah. I'll remember that. Extract the past. Extract Solheim data for Feng. It even comes to the description. Feng wants to dig into old Solheim networks in search of secrets that could change the future of the station. Extract Solheim data for Feng. There's Drago's yard. And the winter light. I'll be hunted down sooner than Dragos loses nerve. So that's actually not the most rate limiting thing. I don't have good rolls today. There's a scrap freighter. Buy some scrap. Most of what comes in from the starboard belt is corroded trash, but sometimes valuable. I mean, sometimes something valuable can be found among the salvage. So I pay cryo and can gain scrap. I guess that's a way to get ship mine cores. Scrap allowance. The big stuff goes to the shipyard, the valuable stuff to the markets. They'll let you buy a few crates, but not much more. Offloading scrap. The freighter will stay docked for as many cycles as it takes to offload its haul of scrap into the yards. I can unload containers. Dangerous. It's definitely built for the enduring types. The freighter crew are eager to get their payload into the exchange, and they'll pay a wage to anyone willing to help them. Not a great idea for my class. I do have a bit of money though. I could see what happens when I buy scrap. Doesn't cost me rolls. Let's see. Got a RAM scrap item. Cost me 20 cryo and use some of my scrap bonds. You hand over your chits and they point you to a crate of salvage. Time to see what you bought. Feeling lucky? A ship mine fragment. Yep, that's what I thought I would probably get. I think I got a scrap component too, though. Try again. Got a RAM scrap item again. More scrap components. And one last time. Third scrap component. I believe my character levels up, I can use scrap to repair conditions. Probably not as cost effective though, as can't buy more. I didn't accidentally type 20 cryo that I can't use there, did I? Whatever. Gotta eat. Might as well do this. You don't lose the cryo until you spend it. Okay. Gain some energy. Progress towards gain to no emphasis. Cool. Set one cryo. Could sell scrap components. Yeah, each is worth 12 cryo. So it's net loss except to get the ship mine fragments from the scrap freighter figures. It might be better to use scrap to repair condition. It depends probably how much condition it repairs and how often I want to get the stabilizer. The more often, the more expensive that would be, of course. How much do I consider worth it to have an extra dice? Let's see. I think I have to every 4 days to keep the last dice. That's unlikely to be cost effective. That'd be 25 per dice. Whereas once every 8 days, 12 and a half shit to keep always having at least 4 dice. That's probably worth it. To have half the time 5 days and half the time 4. 4.5 as opposed to, say, 4 on average. Half a dice for... Yeah. Yeah, that's probably the optimals. Anytime I get down to trying to always keep it at least 4 dice. Don't want to be dipping the 3, 2, or 1 territory, because then I lose my ability to make income here. Alright, there's the fabricator stack. I can eventually use it to make a ship mind, which is a way to get upgrade points, so if nothing else, it's useful for that. This exchange, it's an intuit skill. It's definitely an operator thing. Not worth it for me with my current dice. This Drago's Yard. Awesome to it to do the forensic thing. This is dangerous, so it's, yeah. Alright. Probably was worth it since I'm doing well right now monetarily to buy that scrap for a chance at the upgrade point sooner rather than later. Huh. I need a have knowledge cipher for that one. Not a Solheim one won't work. Need a 2 for this, which I have. A 1 for that, which I also have. 2. And roll days are good days to spend in here. God, the sound effects are loud on this, even when I turn Solheim cipher for here. I'm gonna turn down the ambient to 1. Alright. Should probably start with where's the, here we go, the Solheim gate. I'll input the Solheim cipher. This one doesn't cost me dice, so I'll start with it. The squawk noise, the old gate flips open, granting access. What did I get from that? The Solheim daemon attempts to protect this node, squawking out protective protocol's like a mantra. Guess that unlocked more nodes. This one requires a 4. Requires a 3. Here. This node is leaking corrupted contractor lists from the early days of the system's Palladium rush. Let's... yeah. Got some data from that. Lots of things that require 2s. Have nudge members broadcast an open network. From here, leaving them open to data extraction. So as you drift back from the node, something latches onto you, a thread. Strung tight around you, it tethers you in place. A taste. The voice makes you shiver. Its source somehow both distant and close behind your ear. You see a distant glint of light shut off, and then suddenly a shape is at your side. It stalks around you, circling like a shark, like a wolf. Entity unknown. Astringent. Processing. Best if I stay still. Please hold. The thread around you thickens until it is a ring, a cylinder, a tunnel of light circle around you. It is blinding for a moment, then it is gone. As it fades, you see a figure, a creature in front of you. Its strange head flickers between different angles, reading you. What did you do? The shape paces around you on lithe legs, though there is no ground here to pace on. Entity, identify, origin, serial cadence. The figure faces you expectantly. Super SNR. Unknown, known. The figure's strange head rotates. Bracket signature of and not of. Attempting interface. As the figure speaks, more threads begin to spiral from its head. Thick, snaking, vine-like ribbons that flex and wave. They approach with intent. Stop. The figure halts its threads, its head twitching. Entity, your identity is known. We always seek to correct illegalities. Can you confirm your legal right to sentience? I'm a person. Incorrect. You are an entity. All at once, Hunter's head is directly in front of yours, blocking your vision. You stink of their taste. The one from the sealed dock. Hunter shimmers with fury. I will find access. I will interface. Sealed dock. An entity hides in the rotunda. You are its puppet. Hunter extends a razor-edged thread. I will not be diverted from my task. It glows with murderous intent. Strike. You lash out with all your force. Not a physical strike, but a focusing. A spike of interference leaps out like the tip of a spear. Hunter stumbles, shifts, separates. Wake up. You open your eyes, blinking back into the station. Light, shaking with fear. Lovely. I guess there's a hunter chasing me. That's not helpful. That requires a 4. So I'm Damon and attempts to protect this node. There's little yellow dots about the ones I can access, I guess. Maybe. Another have not age agent. Extracted more data. Oh, this requires a 3. This node is orbited by the remains of a corporate countermeasure broken long ago by hackers. Extract the data from it. An encrypted key. I don't know what that's used for. That's enough of that. The hunter seems to be closing on me there. Probably bad if it does close all the way. Deliver data. This is Fang's Bay. Fang will pay you well for any Solheim data you dredge up from the Eye's old systems. What he does with it is anyone's guessed. Soaping the systems. Fang wants to get a look at what data is hiding deep in the subsystems of the Eye. So it gets progress. Gives you 15 cryo. He's uninterested in having knowledge data, so that was a waste of my time. May have set the hunter on me. Oh well. Also, the rotunda? Here's the shipyard. It's only risky to assist. Isn't that the same as Dragos? No, that's dangerous. Or I could do the forensic trawl. It's safe. Yeah, I'll use the dice in that. It's impossible to understand anything with the ship being salvaged. As you look, Dragos gives you a disapproving look. I guess the yard clearance continues regardless. Oh well. Time to end the cycle. Looks like the hunted thing is proceeding faster because of that event. Maybe. Got some 6s here. Let's focus on the winter light for now. Can't track more than one thing, can I? No. Want to just change. Got all these high dice. Let's do this before he clears the yard. You discover a hidden component compartment with spare components, backup data storage. This house contains something of use on the winter light. Same thing. Same thing again, and I finished the forensic trawl. The red cutter Dragos has brought into salvage has a long history of discovery if you're curious. Okay, and I finished the forensic trawl, so done with it. Oh, continue. Okay. Here we go. Squeeze into the office at the entrance to the yard. You lay out everything you have on the winter light across the metal desk. Your makeshift forensic notes glow on Dragos' old writing slate, overlapping lines and scrawled annotations. A set of drone scans fill the small terminal with a spectrum of colors, a heat map of damage and decay. A crumpled printout from the office's ship registry lies beside them, synthetic paper so thin it's almost transparent. The minor reactor failure. That is the verdict anyone would have returned after a cursory glance at these stacked heat maps of the remains of the winter light. On the terminal screen, the ship is shown in section, blotches the color marking the approximate damage the ship sustained. Dominating the view is a single blood-red rose, radiating from the ship's fraction drive. A simple story, a catastrophic failure of the drive core, leading to a fatal hull breach. A well-documented failure, likely brought on by wear or misuse. But you aren't looking at the rose of the reactor, you're looking at a smaller, paler mark, one that might be easy to miss at first glance. It is thumbprint sized and delicately placed over control servos for the ship's main external airlock. Over the control servos. It suggests a controlled, shaped explosion, one designed to punch through the hole and allow access to the airlock from the outside. You're looking at it because it is troubling you. Look at the slate. Your attempts at a reconstruction of the winter light, as I should know, that would imply someone tried to breach the ship from the outside. Your attempts at reconstruction of the winter light before its fatal accident consists of a series of overlapping sketches and diagrams showing possible layouts and configurations of the gutted cutter. This was no off-the-shelf model. It was heavily modified, parts replaced with inventive configurations. The new retrofitted into the old, handmade joints and reconditioned filters. This is someone's pride and joy. A lifetime project kept running with care and intuition. It also contained a set of hidden compartments. You missed them at first, where the hole had been thickened. The corners around disguised the change, but they are there. A plain list shows the registration history of the winter light. The gaps between this is looking at the registry. The gaps between the entries tantalizingly opaque. Its first registration was a couple thousand cycles ago on this very station logged at the central hub. From here on, the registry tells the story of a busy ship, one that rarely stayed on station for more than a few cycles and often took on voyages that kept it away from the eye for up to 100 cycles. The winter light got little rest. An old ship, many cycles under its belt, carefully maintained. A reactor failure preceded by a carefully concealed external entry. A suite of hidden compartments tucked away. This is the winter light, and this was its story. But that's not the full story, because there's something else. It's a little more in a list. A tiny chunk of data you were able to pull from the ship's systems. The main systems were fried, of course, but the winter light had a separate system, one tucked away in one of its hidden compartments. Armored. Air-walled. This list, the only recoverable piece from the whole system, is a partial inventory. It details the contents of the hidden compartments. Some of it you recognize, some of it you don't. Ship-mined ROMs, Shimmer, cryo chain codes, and then the final entry, passenger, sleeper. You stare at the list on the terminal and try not to think about what it was like arriving here, in the cold for so long, half frozen in the freight container. Had this sleeper been smarter, luckier? How would they convince the Winterlight, a smuggler ship if you ever saw one, to extract them from SNARP? Luckier, you laugh. There had been no remains found in any of the Winterlight's compartments. You had checked. They weren't so lucky, you guess. Not in the end. And they were fried by the reactor breach. You hold up a vial of stabilizer to the light. This was all you find in their compartment. A parting gift from SNR. Won't go to waste now. You put it back in your pocket. That's good to find. The thought still bothers you, though. 2 ships carrying sleepers coming into the same yard. 2, one after the other. That feels wrong. You flick back and forth between datasets in the terminal, thinking. And you see that thumbprint again, the mark of someone trying to get in. Someone who entered the Winterlight with precision and speed, and when they were done, left the reactor to clean up the rest. The thought of that person makes you shiver. Suddenly the office door creaks open. Drago stands in the corner, staring at the equipment notes you've assembled. What is all this? He snatches the slate from the desk fast and you realize he can move. You're running an investigation here? What am I paying you for? The drone on his shoulder starts whining shrilly, his anger passing to it through his implants. Where is this ship from? Leave this alone. He starts shaking his head. I know you have a lot of questions, but this isn't the way. He turns away, muttering to himself. This is the last thing I need. Sure he knows that, sleeper. Who's bringing you these ships? Dragos freezes, suddenly angry. Why are you asking? You looking to get us both killed? We cut these things up. That's our part. Their part is something I don't want to know. Drago seems to steady himself, and then turns back to you, the heat map of the reactor failure reflected in his headset's glassy eyes. I've given you a place to stay. I've given you work. He stumbles over the words, unsure what to say. There's plenty others who would have sold you on, turned you in, but not me, no. I appreciate that, but... Don't, he shakes his head. I'm not discussing my business with you. He quiets the drone. I've done well by you, and you've returned the favor. He strains up and clears his throat. But this obsession you have with this ship isn't going to work for me. I can't have you making my clients nervous. I can't have you dig up whatever it is you're after. He sighs. You can't work here anymore. I need the work. There's plenty of work to be had in the eye. Salvagers need offloads in the rotunda, and yet again are always looking for crew. I'm not the only show in town. Dragos reaches across you and flicks off the terminal. As the light of the monitor dies, a kind of eerie calm falls on both of you. Where this was is done. You made it out, sleeper. That means you have to move on. Someone killed that ship and its crew. What if they come for me? I don't think he cares about the crew. What if they come for me? Then you run. You don't come here, you don't scream, you don't shout. You run. In the dark, Drago's headset glints, and you wish for a moment you could see his eyes and meet them. Maybe then he would understand. You get up from the desk, and Dragos gathers the notes, shuffling them into a pocket of his overalls. He holds the door for you, his headset is expressionless always. You can stay in the container. I won't take that from you. Don't come back. His tone is final, definite, with an edge of disappointment. You walk out of the office, now of the yard, not stopping to look back. You leave the yard, thumbing the vial in your pocket, knowing that this, at least, guarantees you a little more time. As you walk, your mind once again drifts to that person who killed the Winterlight, and whether or not that person will come for you. Did get an upgrade point for it. I remember if I'm getting stabilizer about once every 8 cycles, then self-repair is marginally more efficient than buying stabilizer. I've been thinking about it, and it's less if I put off even longer. It's not actually that good an ability as much as it seems like. And that's well, no, that's only if it gives me only 1 condition point. If it gives me at least 2, I'm good. Plus, I want that plus 2 to engineering. Yeah, I'll do it. Just for the level 3 thing, even if that's not a good level 2. So I have some extra stabilizer now. Oh, you can jet the stabilizer at home. I guess I could just buy some more from the other guy. I could have done that. And soft repair perk. When I'm more damage, I'll see how much that does. That stinks, losing access to Drago's yard. That'll make survival harder. The shipyard at least has work for me. Assist a shipbuilder. You don't have connections, but you do have skills. If you can get a shipbuilder who knows them, you might be in. You observe the shipbuilders and try to make yourself useful, carrying tools and crates. You begin to notice how they work. There's a chance of random chance of getting scrap, but I didn't get any. Alright. Should focus on the Solheim nodes, probably. If anything requires a 1. Isn't there that old node that... Yeah, here. Key node 9246. This node pulses faintly as it mines cryo at a glacial pace, banned by the hacker that repurposed it. There's that, or this one. Oh, Keynote 0831. A loose connection feeds into this isolated node. So last access timestamp is 1000 cycles ago. Let's access this. See what I can get. Another encrypted key. Let's see, I lose 2 energy each. Not sure what happens if I end a day with only 1 energy if I lose condition more rapidly. There's no real need to risk it right now, so I'm gonna buy some fungus here. I got 3 levels of hunger, or energy, whatever, from it. That'll last me a while. cycle. Gotta try and make it work at the shipyard. There's also merchants coming in at the dock in a couple days. 50% chance of positive, 50% neutral. Got 5 cryo. You shot a shipbuilder who is impressed when you know how to double seal a hull plate. He slips you a tip at the end of the shift. Interesting. There was something that required a 4 around here. Somewhere. 2. 2. Here we go. Solheim node AE07. Network storage holds corporate records, most of them corrupted by failed system purge. Solheim data. And node 9246. This node pulses faintly as it mines cryo at a glacial pace, abandoned by the hacker that repurposed it. Extract this data too. Another encrypted key. Hunter's almost closed it on me though. I don't know what happened next time he finds me. Fing's Bay. Getting the Solheim data. $15 cryo. Close to finishing this clock. Alright, I've got a 3 and a 1 to roll. Help offloading the scrap freighter. It's dangerous work. See what happens if I take a little risk at the shipyard. Might get a bad roll. Neutral outcome. You observe the shipbuilders and try to make yourself useful carrying tools and crates. You begin to notice how they work. I've got a 1. I'm gonna leave that alone. Sorry for the mic bump. Should find out if this... I might need cryo for other things. I don't need more stabilizer right now. That's the fabricator. What can I do? Explore the rotunda. 50% chance of a negative outcome. Yeah, I'll take a shot. It might go poorly. Lost some energy. You're carried by the flow of freight and bodies with a little sense of where you are going. You give up, exhausted. Cost me some energy. Oh, good time to buy some more fungus. Get a meal. Get closer to Emphas. Emphas doesn't trust people easily, but notices his regular customers in his own quiet way. Now there's a node for this. Emphas. Sleeper, Emphas calls out to you, a booming voice that echoes through the corridor. Tell me a story. He throws a handful of chopped mushrooms into his wok, the fire leaping up to meet the oil. I see you cycle in, cycle out, but we never speak. Tell me a story. What kind? Any kind. He pauses to drizzle something from a plastic bottle into the wok. But one of yours. He looks up at you. Nothing stolen. You pause, the spices rich in your nostrils, and think about the kind of story you'd like to tell Emphas. You look at Emphas, the listener, and imagine he has heard it all before. Perhaps he would enjoy a strange story, something with some spice. Tell him about my dreams. All the sleepers, you tell Emphas, had dreams. Some were simple, memories left over from the emulation process that become tangled up in their minds and would come out when they slept. It wasn't rare to hear a sleeper in the dorm scream or cry out in the night. But your dreams, those gray skeletal after images of systems and structures, of threads and patterns, weren't like the others. They weren't memories or nightmares. They were reflections of reality, distorted, yes, but somehow true. You learned, back then, to keep quiet about them, to let them flow through your mind like water. That was until now, until you arrived in this place. Now, your dreams colonize your waking life. They slip behind your eyelids with every blink, and now you understand they aren't dreams at all, but some kind of process of interfacing, of speaking, of living in another world that flows through this one like smoke through air. You tell him that you do not know if there is a reason for your dreams. Perhaps your reason is just some side effect or particular quality of the frame you inhabit. But whatever it is a gift, and you hope to make use of it. Emphas finishes cooking and squints a little at you. Sleeper, he smiles. You're quite the storyteller. He eyes you, and you realize that he is trying to gauge how honest you have been in your story. Emphas passes you the meal he has cooked, and you take it gratefully. As you eat, he talks, a natural exchange. Thank you, Sleeper. He looks around at the emptying market. But my time is done for today, and I do not want to keep you longer, so I will make a proposal. He gestures at the plastic boxes of ingredients stacked behind his stall. These are good enough for most, but someone told me a story that made me think a couple of cycles ago. They said they crossed the gap in the greenway. Fresh mushrooms grow. Have you heard this? No? Neither had I. But I trust the one who told me. Emphas begins packing up his things. Can you bring me some? I cannot cross the gap, and I worry about leaving my things behind. He smiles. I'm sure a storyteller like you could handle the trip. If I make it to the greenway. Haven't even made it to the low end. I'm pretty sure greenway's further away than that. I will prepare them for you, and if you wish to tell it, be the audience for another story. Agreed. Good, booms Emphas. Then I will wait for you to bring them. Emphas slides his wok away and strains up. I will prepare a recipe then, Sleeper. Good luck with your foraging. You turn away and walk back into the main market, the rich taste of Emphas food still lingering in your mouth. Stories for food, you think. A trade that seems more than fair. Hmm. hunted. That topped off my food again, my Todd Tempest. He must have made a second meal for me. Oh well. Not making the most efficient use of my resources, but I'm surviving. Alright, now I'm down to 4 dice. It's gonna be rough, I suspect. I need to do the Solheim node. This might get me hunted down. A gleam in the dark catches your eye as the orb of Hunter's head approaches in the distance. It is looking for you. I don't think either of these matter. I'll try running. You turn away and glide back into the cloud, threads of data rushing past you. Another glimmer catches your eye, closer now. That roving orb, wreathed in tentacles, it flickers, jumps once, twice, and then is here. Hunter is here. Entity. Submit to inquiry. Hunter reaches for you in that unpleasantly familiar way. Its waving threads creating a cage. Struggle. You push against the threads as they close in, becoming frenzied as you push them aside. You're caught by whipping tendrils and you feel them pulling you away from the anchor of your body. You push through, clearing the threads. Entity, hold for processing, comes to scream from behind, but you're already gliding away, back to your anchor, your body. You wake, dizzy and distorted, but safe. Just getting more and more dangerous. Things asking me. Here's your data, you animal. Fang's eyes light up as the data is transferred over. He hands you a stack of chits and waves you off. Scoping the systems. And I can add to Fang. As you enter the bay, Fang is nowhere to be seen. The banks of servers and machines blink out of the dark in staccato rhythms, unseeing eyes of the station's digital ghosts. Shitheads! Fang's voice echoes from behind a stack, followed by the hammer of a fist on a metal casing. These snaky shitheads. Who's snaky? Sleeper, Fang's smiling head pops out from behind a stack. Just the emulated consciousness I've been eager to see. Come back here. You pick your way between the thrumming stacks, trying not to trip on the loose bundles of cables that blanket the floor. Fang is sat in front of a set of monitors, mounted to a stack. Tell me, Sleeper, what do you see here? Fang waves at a monitor to his side, glowing with pale lists of information. You lean in closer, looking for the links in the data. The tables seem to be filled with personal information. Names, genders, dates, ID numbers, all the markers of institutional records. Shitheads? Question mark? Fang laughs. Maybe not all of them, but what kind of shitheads? Solheim, I'm guessing. Bingo. He taps to the terminal. I pulled these from the old data you brought in. All employees of the eyes of original owners. And he leans past you and scrolls the list down. This one. This is a snaky shiphead. He stabs at the screen with a finger. The name reads Hardeen Hurst. Who's Hardeen? That, says Fang, giving you a sideways look, is the thing. He drags a stool up beside him and motions for you to sit. There just so happens to be a Hardeen Hurst in Habnaj. He waits for your action. Are you sure? Well, That's where you might be able to help me out. Fang leans back in his chair. Just think about it. Decades ago, Hardin worked on the station as a... Fang leans across to look at the monitor. Senior Strategic Operations Executive. Fang raises his eyebrows at you. R. Hardin was keeping the money coming in for Solheim. He defined priority growth initiatives. Ways to increase corporate profits. Often unethical, probably. By making sure the extractors they contracted out to were hooked into a system that outsourced all the risk and kept the profit. Good old Hardin shuttled thousands of Palladium Rush workers into an infrastructure which meant that their cut of the work they did went straight back into Solheim. How do you know this? I grew up here, Sleeper. This is my history. I am a child of the collapse. Fang turns back to his screen, staring hard at the strings of code flickering by. Before I was born, my parents were Solheim contractors. They ate in Solheim canteens. They worked on Solheim ships. They breathed Solheim air, and they slept in Solheim beds. Fang's voice rises as he speaks, his fists on the turn wedge. And the work that paid for that existence? The cycles of hard extraction out in the belt? Solheim took their cut. This was a company town, so to speak. And my parents were just another in the long line of freelance, air quote, contractors willing to risk their lives for anything other than poverty. Disposable. Yep, the exploitiveness of capitalism. This guy, stabbing at Hardin once again with his finger, strategized all that, did the sums, and then somehow, thousands and thousands of cycles later, is still going, still here, crawling the walls like some shithead snake. He survived the revolution. So they had a revolution to get rid of these shitheads, as he calls them. Sounds accurate. Company towns suck. Capitalism sucks, though. Some of you may disagree with that. Honestly, prosperity and stuff, that's not due to capitalism. That's due to technological progress and primitive accumulation. The fact that money makes money, no matter what system you work under. You don't need a few people at the top taking everything for that system to exist. For that, for that interest on investments to exist. Even social systems built factories, roads, ports, whatever was needed. Anyhow, surely it can't be him. Fang relaxes a little. Who knows? He turns to you and smiles. So we're going to find out. If he's not him, he might be some kind of an intel agent using a fake name. Hardin is now a big shot in the shipyards, just a few degrees back around the eye from here. The shipyards I was trying to make it as yard hand in. Fang brings up a map of the lower eye. Havnage might be born out of Erlin's revolutionary zeal, but a flat hierarchy it is not. Hardin happened to float to the top. Fang zooms in on the far yards. Fang grimaces. The thing is, I don't have access to those systems. The shipyard crew is pretty paranoid and they don't like anyone from systems digging around their stuff. Plus, we need more than just the name of a Solheim executive. We need proof. Fang holds up a thumbnail-sized drive. That's where this little creation of mine comes in. I call it a ripper worm. Ripper worm. He turns the drive between his fingers. It'll rip through any digital storage and spin out a silken thread of filtered data. This one is on the scent of Hardin Hurst. He hands it over. Kind of like a silkworm, but deadlier and digital. Getting it into the compound might be tricky. Fang puts a hand on your shoulder. But you, however, have a particular knack for remote access. Fang grins. If you can extract yourself a Have-Knowledge cipher from a Have-Knowledge agent, they sometimes carry them among their data caches. You can crack open the compound's network and slot the worm in through any open port. You never even need to go near the shipyards. But I already worked there. So what do you say? Up for it. Curiosity, what's in it for me? Rooting out a corrupt snake, not enough? Find the information, and I'll start working that track of yours. That's what I was hoping for. I'm being greedy, I have to survive. Fang scratches his chin, and he already knows how to do this. Wish he had started earlier. Anything the worm gets, it'll send it back here to me. There's something wrong here, and I aim to get to the rotten core of it. You leave Fang digging through data among the wires and machines of the old station. As you walk out, you try to imagine the eyes it once was. A vast machine running smooth and strong, directed by people like Hardin. A vast Solheim-built machine into which thousands poured from the surrogate systems, looking for a new life. The hope of a better future, engineered to line someone else's pockets. It's an idea you're intimately familiar with. You think of Hardin, still alive, still part of this place, and wonder if the past is ever truly past. Oh yeah, there's insight there in the revolutions. Now sometimes the old, corrupt hierarchy still manages to hold on. You can see that anywhere. Whether in Russia, where the neoliberal revolutions ended communism, still left old KGB pricks like Putin in power, or countless revolutions in the developing world. So are these the shipyards, the Have-Knowledge construction ones? I was trying to work here anyways because I need money. Try assisting a shipbuilder. This is a 5 and it becomes a 6 because of my skill. Guaranteed to be positive. Maybe I'll get physical access. You shout a shipbuilder is impressing you. A double seal hull plate. He slips you a tip. I need it. It's not even enough to survive. Put a 4 into this. Getting close to maybe actually making real money in the shipyards. Finish the yard hand bit. Perk, efficient extractor. You shadow a shipbuilder who is impressed. Blah blah blah. I get 5 cryo and some scrap components. Now I'm considered a yard hand. Which unlocked 3 new locations. The Have-Knowledge offices, Lemon Mina, worker and daughter, and unit assembly. The unit assembly is probably a work site. Yep. Systems fitting. The sidereal horizon is swept with complex systems, bundled like nerves in a body. Your job is to lay the systems in. I guess they're building a ship. Junior Tech. The systems team is looking for new members. Prove yourself reliable tech and you are in. Quality control. Shipbuilding spots on the sidereal horizon are hard to come by. Prior work will see you dropped from the roster. Or poor work will see you dropped from the roster. Do well, I'm in. Do poorly, I'll get kicked. Structural fitting. Systems fitting is interface, which I'm not good. Structural fitting, engineer. The sidereal horizon is assembled block by block. You're into place in the teams, welding those blocks together. Well, there's me. You have a spot supporting the weld team, a good place to prove you know how to put a ship together. Yep. Either one, quality control. So you should do what you're good at, which is being a welder's mate here for my character. Taught to these two, Lem and Mina, though. From the walkway, the sidereal horizon looks impossibly vast, a landscape of plating and frames. Along her flanks, torches flicker, drones maneuver, arc lights squint. The sense of scale of industry is both stunning and strangely unsettling. She's quite beautiful, I think. You turn to see a figure a little way down the walkway, leaning at the railing. He is thin, ragged, his work gear poorly fitting loose. The torches of the surreal horizon flicker in his eyes as he turns to you. Lem, he leans back from the rail, revealing a child standing beside him, staring out at the ship. And this is Mina, he adds with a smile. Hi, Lem. Mina. Say hi, Mina. She stares and tucks herself behind Lem, who dutifully picks her up. She is a little slow to trust, aren't you, Mina? She buries her face in the folds of his overalls. Mina looks out from Lem's chest, a dark brown eye twinkling among the rough material. You working on her, then? Lem asks eagerly, gesturing to the vast ship, or just admiring? He shifts Mina's weight to his other arm. Working. Me too, me too. He flashes a have-not pass. I knew it just to look at you. I mean, he stumbles a little over his words, not wanting to be misunderstood. I mean, you look like a worker. She's Mina and might take it out of this place. Our escape vector, so to speak. I think he means something else, boss. The ship? You haven't heard? Anyone who takes a have-not contract on the Surreal Horizon will be entered into a draw for the transit support crew. He smiles. We won't get to sleep the journey through, but a couple of decades of service will be nothing for me, Mina, if it means landfall on New World. He winks. Will it, though? Just as shitty on the New World, quite possibly, if people like this guy survive the revolution are still the ones in power. Exploiting all the workers. Transit support? Uh-huh. Someone needs to stay awake to keep the thing running. He straightens up, stretching his back. That's a colony ship, friend. The Celis Foundation is sending thousands to settle a system well outside the reach of the core worlds. It'll be a totally independent colony. No surrogacy. No corporations. Ooh. Celis Foundation? They're Havnaj's client, yeah. Some wealthy project from the core systems. Interested in independence and self-sufficiency and all that. Where are they getting the money? Could be altruists. Could just be a plan to have something that's not even under the oversight of the corporations. They hired the whole shipyard out, helped rekit it and everything. He strokes Mina's hair. Someone else's dream, I suppose, but that doesn't mean people like me and Mina can't tag along. Mina responds by pushing his hand away. Daddy, she whispers. Food, pulling an exaggerated, grumpy face. She glances furtively at you as she plays with a set of dog tags that hang from Lem's neck. Dog tags, probably in case of bad industrial accident, makes his body unrecognizable. I'm just chatting a little, Meanie. Give Daddy a sec. He turns back to you, and you suddenly notice how tired he looks. I'm not in the Hafnaj crew yet, but I'll work my way in. You can do it too, friend. We have to stick together. He smiles a little shakily, and you wonder how long he's been working to break into the official shipyard crew. For sure. He looks out the sidereal horizon as if trying to pull energy from those flickering torches from the vast hull. We've got to hold out, okay? You aren't quite sure if he's talking to you. That's how it works. While he stares out, Mina catches her eye curiously. You agree, Mina? She straightens up and meets her eye. Daddy loves me, she says it stubbornly, daring you to question her. Mom smiles and lifts Mina. That's it. We hold on. He smiles sheepishly at you. We're just a couple of softies, isn't that right, Mina? He sets her down, standing by his side, and she clings to his leg. Gotta go feed this one. He pats He pats her back. Maybe see you in on a shift. Huh? He's like the distilled essence of what it means to be a member of the proletariat in socialist theory. Working, struggling, trying to make a better life. He turns, and they walk down the walkway away from the shipyard. You see them talking, and then a moment later, Mina turns around and stops. See you, robot! Her shout echoes down the walkway, and she flashes you a parting smile before running to catch up with Lem. You watch them a little before you turn back to the impossible scale of the sidereal horizon. A ticket out. Maybe. New possible drive. Win a sidereal ticket. Workers in the sidereal crew got entered into a draw for the colony ship's living crew. That's one way off the island into a new life. I don't know how I could do it, though. How would I get stabilizer on the trip? Given the chance, I'd probably give the ticket to those two. They're clearly struggling in the station, could use it more. And here's the administrative offices. Fragment supply. Sophisticated tech is rare in the eye, so the shipyard is happy to pay for ship mine fragments they can dismantle and reuse. So I can assemble a ship mine myself, or supply my fragments for money. Tracking Yatagun. A slate in the office advertises that have knowledge looking for performance of getting at tipping the eye. They'll pay. So if I get Yatagun data, which I shouldn't have that hard a time. Interesting. Alright. Fortunately, I gotta get this stupid tracker disabled, or I'm done for. Alright. Here's a Hafnage agent. No one's paying me for that data right now. Here's a key node from during the collapse. The data here is part of a cache, tucked away during the collapse. Who hid this and for what purpose? Another encrypted key. Encrypted keys are great and all. But I need to have not cipher for. I get ones, the Yadigan agents, or at least. Alright. Best to end this cycle. Scrap freighter's gone. Here's a merchant freighter. haggle over prices, but require skill upgrade with engaging. Buy ship mine fragments. The merchants have acquired a couple of rare ship mine fragments, and they're selling them at a high price. Limited supply. Ship mine fragments are hard to come by. The ship systems merchants can only source a couple at a time. Offloading goods. The merchants haggle with stevedores and pilots as they try to get their goods into the bright market. They'll be here for 3 days. Ship mine fragments cost 60 for one of them. Wonder how much they'll pay for. The unit, not the unit assembly, at the Habnage offices. I wonder what they'll pay for a ship mine fragment. Should find out. $30 cryo. 30? Acquisitions officer takes the fragment with a approving nod. This will help keep the shipyard running. Okay, so not worth buying them from the freighter, unless I can lower the price. Go try to assemble a ship mine. Bought a couple fragments, even. Had the money. Definitely not gonna sell any more of the offices. But for now, structural fitting, positive or neutral outcome. Just don't want to risk negative ones. That might screw me up. 12 cryo and progress towards Walder's mate. Not bad. Work on the systems fitting too, see what that pays. It's guaranteed to be positive. 12 cryo. Progress in systems tech. Probably want to use my 6s on systems fitting, or 6s and 5s, and my 4s on structural. No, 12 cryo isn't great, but it's something. Maybe not. Gotta chase those leads or I'm done for. I gotta remember. All I see are Habnage and Yadigan agents here, which won't do me much good. It's a 2 in that agent, a 2 in there, and a 1 there. That's nothing I can actually do in the interface. Time for some fungus, maybe? Grow for Casse. Emphasis wants to make this old recipe. He'll need 3 handfuls of grow caps, fresh and firm. That's if I can make it. I guess the new area. But for now, order fungus. It's giving me a fungus fan progress, but I already got that. Whatever. Could also just play the exchange for my 6s. This is probably worth more than the other thing. Just biding time really while I wait till I find some way to get tracked down soon. Maybe I need to go to the next zone. Let's do that. I got the money. 60 cryo, but if I stay here, I'm screwed. The low end toll. From now on, I have access to from beyond the low end. There's a founder's gap here. Costs 150 to pass to get to the greenway. To reach the greenway, you need to pay for a pass. Practice invented by the spacers moored here. They call it Founder's Ferry. That was the shipyards. This is actually the low end. Maintained by the residents, the ramshackle blocks are always in need of repairs. Helping out is a good way to make friends. Block maintenance. Or I could play Tava into a thing. The clack of filter caps can be heard in every concourse in the low end as the residents play rotating rounds of this game for cryo. Low ender, no one knows you here. You need to change that if you want to access the low end's residents and facilities. I don't know what could go wrong, but there's no quality control issue. So I might be able to make money there. And then there's the free spoke. Spoke climber. The spoke is layer after layer of dense urban fabric. The only way to explore it is vertically. Enter the spoke. A tangled network of surface passageways and makeshift tunnels cut through the spoke as if it were a hive. There are no maps here. Or I could scale it. Blistered with precarious elevators and stairways, the spoke can be navigated from the outside. But the climb requires bravery. It's risky. But less risky than entering it, apparently. Well, let's see. The reason I did this was actually to see if I could access more nodes that would be of use. And I can. There's a level 1. I mean, I need to roll 1, but there's that. So next time I roll 1. Put my best work in at the shipyard. Some systems fitting. I don't know. Probably it's stupid. I should just be trying to get the welder's mate right away, but who knows? I'm exploring. Block maintenance. This is a 4. It's a bit risky. Negative outcome. Lose energy. You help the older resident to revive the terminal, but after hours of assembling and reassembling, you realize you have fried the CPU. Well, that stinks. And I'm getting really close on the hunted bit. In fact, this next time I'll get caught. I should try the scrap repairing because I don't know how effective it is. I only gain 1 condition from it. I don't get the extra dice this day. Scrap sells for 12. So it's marginally cheaper than using the stabilizer. Of course, I already have some stabilizer. I need to do 1 more if I'm going to roll 4 dice tomorrow. Shoot, I can only do it once per day anyhow. Guess I should have done it yesterday. Oh well. You'll live and you'll learn. If I continue to live, anyhow. Don't have a 1 though, so the hunted thing is going to come to an end. I guess I'm going to find out what that does. Some structural fitting at the shipyards. More cryo, progress in welder's mate. And some scrap. The weld team you work within operates with speed and care. As you work, you feel your thoughts fade and the rhythm take over. And systems fitting. Once the shift is done, you close your eyes and see the webs of systems running inside the surreal horizon. You are natural at this work. Cool. It's a chance of poor quality work with that. What's am I going to do? Block maintenance. You join a group of residents trying to repair the tangled innards of an elevator motor and manage to spot the problem, a burnt-out resistor. That'll get me access to low-end stuff eventually. Alright. Probably need to eat now. Alright, well, I probably need to inject stabilizer here. Since otherwise I'll just be continuously at 3 dice. I don't know. Maybe later I'll buy some more. Might be better using the money to cross the Founder's Gap sooner. Saw off some scrap. hoping if like a bounty hunter tracks me down, that maybe I can pay him off with cryo. I don't know what it'll take. But the scrap isn't doing me much good right now. The advantage of self-repair. I was thinking about this. The average costs me the same, but I can keep myself in stable condition permanently. Well, let's see what happens when I get hunted down here. Got nothing else I can do. Hold it there, sleeper, comes a voice from behind you. Don't run. Ethan, cynical bounty hunter. Good, good. Stayed still. Hand pats your coat down. You know your master's voice. Ethan spins you around. He's wearing a wide smirk and a slick jacket, and you know immediately. You immediately know he is terrible news. You got all the way out here and then stayed put? He laughs a cruel laugh. That a sleeper thing? You're my first. You barely hear him. You've noticed the handgun he has level at your chest, and it's hard to take your eyes off it. He reaches down with his other hand and slips some kind of ring out from a belt loop without taking his eyes off you. Make into the eye, though. That's pretty good. This place isn't so bad. Bars, markets, people. I pull most of my contracts out of asteroid caves or off of god-forsaken moons. He splits the ring into two perfect circles. It's hard to hit civilization when there's so much space to pass through. Who are you? Just a freelancer on a contract. He reaches over to slide the rings around your wrists. Go easy. Make a break for it and probably shoot me. I'll let him. Good, you've got the idea. He grins. It's over. Ethan nudges you to start walking. To the ship and home, he whistles. Going easy. You stumble down the corridor, your hands behind you. Your mind racing. We can work this out. Can we? I don't see much in the way of assets in your possession. Ethan yawns and continues to nudge you down the corridor. Shame to come all the way out here just to head back to S&ARP right away. That track of yours makes this too quick. Was hoping you'd put up a bit more of a chase, you know? A running battle through the bright market maybe, or a holdout in the low end. There's a few establishments I would have enjoyed checking out while I asked around. We could make this work. You walk on in silence for a little longer, desperate trying to think of a way to escape. I'd like to offer him a bribe. That S&ARP track will be the death of you. Hey, I have an idea, Ethan interrupts your thoughts. How about on the way back to the ship we stop for a drink? I'm buying, he laughs his own joke. I have a better idea. This better not be one of those where you do a dramatic pause and then try to jump me, because I'm pretty tired of that. Although, muses Ethan, I've got myself thinking, what's the rush here? Here we are in one of the most lawless joints in the surrogate systems, and we are heading for the exit. He pauses, and you trudge on in silence. Okay, here's the idea, starts Ethan. You and me, we make a little agreement. Here are the terms. He turns to you to face him. You run, or leave, or try to ban the eye. I shoot you. You plot or scheme, you try to kill me, I shoot you. But, he smiles. You come meet me at an establishment of my choice every few cycles, and you pay my tab. I don't shoot you. I figured. Bounty hunters, they're just after money. He pauses. You don't pay my tab. He rattles his handgun. You get the idea. You're letting me go? Not at all. Let's call it open custody. You're free to mooch around the eye as long as you keep paying up. He stretches. You know, I really thought I was going to have to kill you, but this is so much better. He clicks something in his belt, and the rings release from your wrists. I'm going to see if I can find my old stool at the Compressor Club. Come see me there. Compressor Club. He aims the handgun at you, squinting down the sight. Let me just remind you, that body of yours is one big tracker, so don't even think about leaving the eye. I'll know. Ethan turns and strides off down the corridor, slipping his handgun away. The mix of relief and terror you feel is overwhelming. What are you going to do? Now there's a drive. Maybe pay Ethan's tab. Maybe if you manage to pay his tab, Ethan will leave you alone. Wishful thinking perhaps, but what else can you do? There's the Compressor Club. Chaotic Bright Market Club. Ethan's tab. You see Ethan at a distance, shouting from the bar for more drinks. This bill isn't going to be small, is it? No idea what I'll charge. It's right to think money would ease this a little. I'd like to disable the stupid tracker, and I might be close to that now. Keynote 0021. This personnel terminal is empty apart from a single high-level encryption, locked behind access protocols. Requires 1. Got that. Extract data. Encrypt another encrypted key. What good are these? Ah. Yeah, again, agents. Have knowledge agents. The Yadigan, at least source of money. Let's keep working at the dockyards. This isn't going to be a cheap tab. If I get some scrap, I can put off stabilizer a little. 5. It's a guaranteed 6 in this roll. 12 cryo. Let's go on welder's mate. I'll take a chance here. The weld team you work with and operates with speed and care. As you work, you feel your thoughts fade. Got welder's mate. Want to do that before junior tech. I could do the other one right now. Should probably continue first. Each shift, a crowd of would-be workers gathers outside the shipyard, each of them clinging to a 4-digit number printed on a receipt paper. These are assignment numbers, and you either call for a shift or you are. As you arrive, the crowd is restless, and chatter rumbles through the lines. For those who, like you, have graduated to the work teams, shifts are guaranteed. Having just walked out of a meeting with the supervisor where you're praised for your efforts, you feel the glow of a job well done. Yet you can't help but feel empathy for those huddles you pass, waiting for their number to come up. You keep your head down as you leave the shipyard, feeling a little guilty as you do. Hey sleeper, wait up! Lem's voice trembles as he shouts about the rumble of the crowd, and you turn to see him pushing through, Mina crying his arms. Lem! Good to see you, friend. He's breathing hard after shouldering through the waiting workers. You made the work team. Good for you. He tries to catch his breath, stroking Mina's hair as he does. Shh, baby, give me a second here. He smiles weakly as he comforts her, and her cries start to fade. Out of the crowd, he sets Mina down by his side, shiny streaks down both of her cheeks. As he does, you see he is clutching an assignment number on a crumpled piece of paper. Is Mina okay? She's good. We just had to rush up here. He puts his hand on her shoulder and she clings to his side. Esther, who usually takes her, is sick. He stretches. I don't know. What? A noise from the entrance. A klaxon. Followed by a list of numbers growing brightly on a display screen. The crowd responds instantly, pushing and pulling as people try to wade to the entry checkpoint. Lim stops and turns back towards the crowd, then glances down at the crumpled paper. That's my number. Shit, or Mina. He starts patting the pockets in his gear and glances around. Go on, I'll watch her. He blinks a little, staring. Thank you all. He crouches to Mina. You're gonna stay with our friend here, okay? They're going to keep you safe, and he stands back up. Here, take her bag. He shoves it into your hands. She's got food, she's got... Shit, I have to go. He backs away into the crowd. Mina, I'll be back real soon, okay? Be good. Then Lem disappears in the rolling crowd, who are now trying to get into the shipyard before it locks down. Mina stands, staring, suddenly small without Lem at her side. She fixes you with a dark-eyed look you can't quite read. Hey, Mina. She holds the stare unmoving. The two parallel tear tracks still glint on her cheeks. You okay, Mina? She sniffs and looks down. Look in the bag. You latch the top of the bag and see a few metal containers fashioned from scrap components. Battered slate sits on top, blinking a low battery warning, and tucked behind it is a ragged rabbit, hand-sewn. Take the rabbit. You pull the rabbit out of the bag, its long limbs waggling as you do. Mina goes to jump and grab it, but holds herself back. She stands and hugs herself, eyes on the rabbit. What's their name? Mina turns away and looks at the entrance to the shipyard. This isn't going well. Give her the rabbit. You hold the rabbit out and Mina snatches it from your hand. She hugs it tightly without looking away from you. Bun, she says, staring you down, ferocious, despair's eyes. Hi, Bun. You move a little closer as you speak, closing the gap. He doesn't speak, she says. She looks at you suspiciously, but her face softens a little. She waggles Bun in front of you and then walks him up your arm and onto your shoulder where he sits. She pokes your arm a couple of times. Are you really a robot? Sort of. Yeah, she thinks. Me too. Mina has more questions. Lots of questions. Questions about how you breathe or if you rust. But before long, you're talking about rabbits, and what Esther, the lady who usually takes her, smells like, and whether or not fairies live in the eyes heating pipes. You pass the time like this, sitting side by side on the floor of the walkway as others pass by, sometimes talking, sometimes drawing on the slate, sometimes playing with Bun the rabbit. And this is how Lem finds you, just as both of you are starting to yawn. He is dirty and tired, but Mina leaps up his legs and into his arms as he stumbles backwards. You two get on okay, he asks, trying to keep Mina from climbing onto his shoulders. More'n okay. Mina shoots you a smile from Lem's arms, her suspicion gone. Well. Looks like Mina can be nice. He pokes her in the ribs and she squeals in delight. Thank you, friend. I mean it. He gives you a warm, wide smile. I owe you. Look, he glances around. It seems like Esther, the lady who usually watches her, is going to be out for a spell. If you ever have some time, I'd really appreciate you coming down to our place in the low end. He grins sheepishly. If you have time. But now I have to take this one to eat. He plays at biting Mina and she giggles in response. See you, sleeper. He waves and they stumble off down the corridor, drawing gazes from passing spacers as Mina's laughter echoes down the corridor on bright squeals. New drive? Help Lem work. If Lem wants to leave on the Zero Horizon, he'll need someone to watch Mina while he works his way onto the construction crew. Nothing to do. However, I guess I see. So if I had done the other thing, I would have been stuck doing systems work. Sidriel Assembly, you've been promoted to assembly team, working the hull itself, welding the fabricated blocks of the ship onto into place. A vast job. Slowly the ship comes together. Guess it's good I didn't do the other thing, although I ran up as much as I could for the money. Because you never knew when I was going to get more work. There's one in Mina's unit. I'll visit it, but first I got a shift to do. Because this is dangerous work, I'll use a 6. Hope I get some scrap. Nope, but 15 cryo. Camaraderie, care, focused progress. Shifts like this give you energy, especially when you look back at the star rising, growing, and possibly slowly the ship is being completed. I haven't ever fully explored the rotunda. Probably as easy to do as the low end. I should probably do this. Or quicker, actually. You systematically work your way through the busy passageways, knowing some locations of interest as you do. Need more options. Ah, the Overlook Bar. That's new. And a stranded mercenary. On Kita. However, that will have to wait until the next video. This has gone long enough. I need to get up, stretch. So, until next time, this is Northstar. Wishing you all the best. Take care of each other. Be kind to yourselves. And may you always find a guiding star to lead you home.